This is not just another abandoned house. This is a place tied directly to power at the highest level. The Pinto family, a Portuguese noble bloodline, established themselves here in the late 1600s. During this period, families like this held a significant amount of power in Portugal. Members of the Pinto family were in direct contact with the King of Portugal himself. There are even documents suggesting that he regularly visited this estate. Inside the house, we started to understand what this place really was. Every room tells a part of the family's story. Through our research, we were able to piece together who lived here, who these people were, and how this place evolved over the centuries. But the turning point came much later. By the end of the 20th century, the last remaining family members could no longer maintain this property. The estate was sold to the government, marking the end of centuries of ownership. But what followed was not restoration. The government completely neglected the palace. A fire caused heavy damage in several parts of the building, and without any intervention, the decay only accelerated. What makes this place stand out is that nothing was ever removed. Inside we found centuries-old paintings, incredible furniture, and personal belongings that still were exactly in the same place as the Pinto family left them. Not because they had no value, but because no one ever came back for them.
Hey there everybody, welcome back to the Bros of Decay. And we find ourselves today in the country of Portugal. A palace of the Pinto family. A place debatably from the 16th or 1700s. And we think that because there is something here above the door that says Anno 1796. We're not sure if this is a 7 or a 6. That's why we think it's from the 1600s or 1700s. We unfortunately also cannot show you the outside of this place because you would find it immediately, and we really want to protect this building because it's quite special. But we can, however, show you the inside, and that I'm super excited about. Let us take you on a tour of the Pinto family house, a noble house in Portugal. And the first thing that we find here when you walk into this place is the crest on the bench of the family. Look at that. A wonderful crest of this family. Every noble family in Portugal had their own crest, if I'm not mistaken.
Exactly.
And this family is of course also in that group. These benches are quite special. They have compartments to store coals or, whoa, no, nuts.
Yeah, nuts.
Interesting. Wow.
Interesting choice to store.
Normally it's always blankets, but in this case it's nuts. Okay, we have to be quick now because there is a chapel in this place and it has a special feature that we have to show, but it has to be only shown with daylight. Let me take you over there and let me show you that. This, everybody, is the private chapel of the Pinto family that used to live here. I will let you go in first. Wow, it's extra beautiful now that the sun is setting. Look at that.
The entire chapel is filled with this red light.
Yeah, it comes from the tinted glass window that's behind here. I adore it. We have not seen anything like this before.
No, I feel like red is not a color that chapels use a lot. But can you step a bit back and look at the light?
It matches my shirt a little bit, you see? It's quite nice. Oh, I see the sun directly into my face. Beautiful stained glass window, or tinted. Stained, I think.
I don't know anymore,
Yeah.
but I think it's stained.
Wow, I love it. Okay, and it's actually a pretty beautiful chapel. I will first focus on this part here. We have a massive altar in front of us. Is that plasterwork or woodwork?
Most likely woodwork.
Woodwork. That's what Portugal is known for.
Or, well, I mean, it looks like wood. We cannot go down, unfortunately, so we cannot inspect it, but I would love to see those statues up close, because they just look massive.
And they're still so pristine.
Yeah.
That's probably why it's so pristine, because nobody can go there.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And you can also see all the artworks, the paintings around the chapel here. And that's this journey that Jesus took to the cross. Exactly, yeah. Wow. Chapels are something very Portuguese, and
Every noble house has one.
or small or big, but they mostly have one.
Yes.
Also an organ over here, standing in the corner of the room. ST Organ Corporation. Oh, this is from the United States. Wow. This is almost the same lettering as our logo of Bros of Decay. Look at that.
Oh, hey.
Yeah. That's cool. No, unfortunately it doesn't function anymore. Even the music notes and everything are still left behind. Wow. This is a great start to an epic video. Let's continue further to the rest of the house. That was a beautiful chapel inside this place. But we haven't seen the downstairs yet, so let's head there first before we focus on these upper floors. I think, if I'm not mistaken, that these lower floors here, yeah, they are all bedrooms, as you can see. With these very typical Portuguese beds.
I would say so, yeah.
Yeah, you see them in France, you see them in Portugal. Per country they vary a little bit, but...
I feel like, I must say that downstairs, this feels maybe for the workers or visitors. Nah, probably workers.
Most likely, because they also don't have connection directly to the house, maybe. And yeah, one thing I saw in here that we forgot to show is this wheelchair. You think somebody in the house might have been in bad condition?
Well, it's in the house.
Yeah, I think the people that lived here were very old at the end. Yeah.
And oh, it's from Porto.
Oh, wow. Portuguese made. Hey, look at the quality. Good quality. You can see the exposed walls even. So this is the rock from the mountain or something, I think?
I don't think so, because it has concrete and stuff, but maybe this is just an old wall.
And down here you see that the place is really falling apart. The plasterwork. Up here, the ceiling is already cracking up. And it has actually not been abandoned for too long. 1997 was the last date, or 2000?
2000, I
2000.
think, yeah.
Also have a pretty simple bathroom here, I would say. Like you said before, would have been for workers. Yeah. Yeah, again, a very simple bedroom, nothing noble at all.
No.
But this room still looks in good condition. One feature I really like about these rooms is that they have this sort of windowsill with these benches. And you could sit here, look outside. I don't know if this was the intended purpose for this, but it looks like it, right?
No, it is actually. You could just sit by the window, grab a book, have a coffee and enjoy it.
And then we have a couple more storage rooms downstairs. A pair of shoes from the former owners, for example, left here. And I don't know what this room over here is. It has a lot of chests inside. Maybe call this the chest room. Wow, there's so many chests inside of here. Okay, but let's not bother with these downstairs too much. Let's go upstairs.
To understand this place, we have to go back several centuries. The Pinto family were not just landowners, they were active figures within Portuguese nobility. Over generations, members of the family held roles in military service, religion, and cultural life. Inside the house, we found that part of the family was directly connected to the Order of Christ, confirming their involvement in religion and institutional power at the time. We also found that several of the paintings inside the house were made by a painter who lived here, likely working for or within the family itself. This wasn't just a residence, it was a place where their legacy was created and preserved. Above one of the doors, we found an inscription dating back to 1696, marking the early construction of the estate. Later additions in the 18th century show how the family expanded the house as their influence grew. Over time, the family spread out and fewer people remain here. until eventually, around the year 2000, the estate was sold to the government. And what we found is that the government never really did anything with it. We didn't come across any documents of restoration, no signs of preservation. They purchased it and then completely neglected it.
Upstairs, everybody. Not a very particularly beautiful staircase, I would say.
It's very normal, yeah.
Very normal, yes. I always like the outsides of the Portuguese palaces a lot, but the insides are mostly a bit bland, I think, except for the
Oh,
ceilings.
really? I thought the outside looked pretty bland, apart from the family crest. Like, on the outside, it just looks like a farmhouse, but on the inside, it's very different.
I want you to point out all the features you think are super interesting. Of course, these people were also very religious. We have some candles over here, religious candles, and one of those old telephones, as you can see. And this takes us into the first rooms of the palace. Do you feel the floor already wobbling?
Yeah.
Wow, we have to be really careful in this one, I think.
Yeah, this floor feels really, really old.
You smell it, right?
Yeah. I'm gonna point to the ceiling and let people guess about what happened here.
Dun, 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 dun.
Fire. There has been a fire in here for sure. You're gonna see rooms that are just black.
Yeah, exactly. Here is one of the bedrooms, and this looks already a little bit more like a noble bedroom. Most likely for a child, but I think you can see it from the bed itself. It's a bit more extravagant, as you can see. It's a very small room. A small religious depiction, of course. These people were religious. That was in their heart and veins.
Not much in this room.
No. There's some really cool rooms to show you in this place, so we're not going to spend too much time in those uninteresting rooms. This, for example, I really like this room. It's quite a special room. It's not the most special, but yeah, it has a desk. I think this is also one of the rooms that has been used as last inside of this place. Oh, I love this dividing screen that we have over here.
Yeah, and it's leather.
Wow, wonderful piece. And also a picture that has sort of burned up as well, I think.
Yeah, this yellowish hue that's over there, it's just smoke.
Yeah. A very old monitor, a printer. I can still remember even the sound that it would make if you started up. Like and then the bed itself, wonderfully carved.
With a crest in there.
Very intriguing. And oh yeah, it's also the religious crest in there.
No, this is the family crest, and it has a crown on top, which means that they're noble, and another crown on top, which means that they're royal.
It's noble. It's like doubles.
Yeah, well, royal. Noble is royal.
That's amazing. Yeah, these beds, they are very Portuguese. I love how they are made. Okay, let's see what we have over in this room. Oh my gosh. Yes, this is the room that's sort of literally burned up. The whole ceiling is a sort of brownish black color.
Yeah, it looks weird. I've never seen anything like it.
Yeah, exactly.
It even has almost like a haunting quality to it.
Here you see, underneath it, there's almost nothing left of this painting anymore. It's completely eaten up. Wow. This was, I think, a informal dining room or
Most likely.
living space. So what happened here is, of course, I already told you that they sold this place to the government, but they do still, close up everything and...
Yeah, it's been kept up, and they also use the wine fields and stuff, so yeah.
Some parts of it are still used, but I don't think it will ever be restored.
Nah.
Looking at the condition of it, no. There's even a grandfather's clock in this room. Unfortunately, also completely burned. Crazy.
Yeah, it's so crazy to see that this entire place almost just burned down.
Yeah. Let's see this side first, and then we go to the very interesting part of this place. Okay. This palace is actually massive.
Yeah, there's just a corner everywhere, but for example, there are also these kind of rooms which just have very little to show, so...
This looks like a servant's washing room, for example. You see the clothing pins still hanging there and everything.
We're just kind of skipping through this because there will be rooms that we spend way more time on.
Yeah, exactly. That's true. Wow, that's a nice painting, or a frame, I would say. This looks like the surrounding area a little bit. Let's go through here. Oh, this is also a front door of the place, or a side door or something.
It's a massive door. Oh, whoa. Where does it lead to?
I don't know what this leads to.
Can you see anything?
Yeah, it's closed up behind there.
And you can see it's overgrown as well.
Yeah, it's not been opened in forever. That's a massive door. And the key inside of here is also absolutely huge. I was trying to get it out, but... Oh yeah, there it is. Look at that. This looks like a castle key.
Yeah.
This is a Portuguese castle, I would say. Or not castle, no. I'm wrong about that. Palace, yeah. Okay. Gotta close this up. He likes when I close everything back up.
And this room right here is the kitchen.
I think the fire must have started here.
Yeah, this or the other room. The other room had like a corner where it looked like it started, but then also here you have this corner where it doesn't really look like it started over here.
Also, very nasty smell inside of here.
A very strong smell over
It's
here.
not nice to be inside of this room.
No.
I want to show, however, off this massive stove that we have in front of us here. I absolutely adore it, and yeah, this is where the servants would cook for the noble people inside of this place. There's still a tea kettle on top of there. Of course, all the plasterwork fell off it. Wow. Small dining table here in the middle. A very simple kitchen, I would say.
Yeah, very simple.
Here you can also see it, oh, it doesn't even move anymore. You can see it in the glass. It goes from white glass to black glass.
Yeah,
over here.
you can see it really well over there.
Let's go a bit further.
Yeah.
Not gonna show too much of this side.
I feel like this side is just more working stuff.
Yeah, all working stuff. Here's the last room at the end. Yeah, again, a room for the servants most likely.
To hang clothes and stuff.
Yeah, the washing pins are still hanging there. That's so cool to see. Oh, let's get it back on. Oh, there's spider webs everywhere. Good, let's back on back. Oh, no. What am I doing?
You wanna... Oh,
Yeah, of course.
Of course.
The servants use this machine to to press out the water of the clothes. I am really fond of that it still works.
Yeah, I mean, it's manual.
And right next to it we have a singer with the cap laying next to it. It needs some oil, I think. Let's protect it. Let's put this on top of it. Interesting already. Okay. Was it very common for noble people to live together with their servants? Because I know that in French castles there, for example, had different staircases and stuff like that.
I mean, yeah, it's common. The servants just worked here all day, so they would just stay here as well.
Okay.
Or wasn't that what you asked?
Yeah, it's very interesting because in France they are mostly separated. They didn't want to see them.
Yeah.
In Portugal they were integrated then.
Yeah, I guess so, a bit more than the French. But I mean, the bedrooms are still downstairs, so... And you would still see them, they would serve you food, they don't have like the give-through thing.
Yeah. Interesting, yeah. One thing I forgot to show in this room and I really like is this lantern that's hanging here. I think it's quite special. It's also completely taken over by spider webs. And it has this really cool glass around it. And inside this room, like we always see in Portuguese places, we have the bench with the individual seat rests that is a very typical Portuguese thing in these places. This, everybody, is this, oh, sorry, was this room something?
Yeah, I think that was the preparation room.
Oh.
Or is it?
It's sort of a preparation room. We have a fridge here, we have a couple of bottles of liquor there.
I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, very small room.
Small extra room.
But that's the door you want to go through.
This is the door. I also like that it has this system, see?
One of the most striking features inside the mansion are the ceilings. Portuguese ceilings have a very distinct architectural identity, and they are unlike anything you typically see anywhere else in Europe. The design often traces back to influences from the Renaissance and later Baroque periods, where symmetry, proportion, and geometry played a central role in architecture. That is why you see these strong geometric patterns. Hexagons, octagons, and squares, all carefully arranged to create depth and rhythm across the ceilings. And it wasn't just decoration, it was meant to guide the eye and emphasize the importance of the space below. In many cases, these shapes were also helped to distribute structural weight more efficiently, especially in the larger rooms. But beyond function, every ceiling tells a story. Each room in this house interprets the style slightly differently. Some are more restrained and others are more elaborate. But together, they give a clear impression of the craftsmanship and attention to detail that once defined this place.
Okay. Welcome.
I can hold it.
Yeah, okay. Come inside. Because here, everything changes. You really start to feel that you stepped into a different place when you come from that side to this side. You look at the ceilings, look at everything inside this room. Ceilings, for example. The lantern that's hanging here in the middle of the room.
Exactly. And you were asking me to point out things. This ceiling and lantern are very extravagant. Like, they're very different from usual Portuguese style.
Yeah. There's also these... Oh, I thought it was crests.
No, I think they're just decorative beams to support.
Oh, but it was beautiful.
Yeah, of course. Back in the time, everything was made to be beautiful. They didn't just made it.
As you can see, there's also exposed cables over here. So that means that this place got its electricity after it was constructed. Electricity came in 1800 in Portugal, if I'm not mistaken.
1900s, I thought.
1900, so yeah, that's a couple hundred years after it was constructed. I don't know what the purpose of this room was. It's maybe...
Maybe a dining room.
Yeah.
Because I think this table was probably twice the size or maybe even triple the size. And you can see all the chairs around.
Here is a calendar from the year 2000. And that's one of the last dates that somebody lived and even probably came in this place. A lot of documents and everything lying on the table. I'm not gonna go in depth on those because they have a lot of family history on them.
And names.
And names, exactly. These cabinets seem to be very empty though.
Yeah.
It used to be full with china and porcelain. And even the liquors are still standing underneath here.
Very homemade.
The label doesn't say anything anymore. That's probably their own wine. Most likely. Wow. Does this cabinet have the vault? No, it's all empty. I'm not going to open any more in this room. We have chairs that they could take and place around the table when the table was extended. Beautiful chairs. This mesh, that's also very Portuguese, right?
Yeah, it's a very common feature.
You always see it. Even the suitcases are still standing here. That's probably from their travels. They were rich and important people, so they most likely traveled extensively. Want to see this room?
Yeah?
I think this is just the extended bathroom. Oh, I love the flushing style toilet.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you don't see that often. And the ceiling as well.
Oh yeah. Even this ceiling is beautifully boarded.
Okay, I want to check out this room over here right now. And I already saw that it was a bedroom, and I was thinking to myself, why would you put a bedroom right next to a dining room? I have no answer for it, but it's quite strange in my opinion.
Yeah, it is.
Check out the ceiling. Very Portuguese again. Exposed beams. I love the color, and it's different than the other ones.
Yeah, I really love that traditional shape of ceiling.
Those rectangles, yeah.
Yeah, rectangles, hexagons, just weird shapes.
And you only see it in Portugal. Portugal has like these type of ceilings, and I really love it that every single European country has their own unique style of buildings and architecture, and yeah, you see it coming back everywhere.
It's true.
It's beautiful. It's history, it's culture, and you should be proud of it, I think. Yeah. Here we have the bed. The bed rest is sort of the same as the other one.
The style of it, yes. But this emblem in the middle is a religious one, and the other one was a crest, I believe?
Oh, is this not a cross?
Yeah, it is. It's religious.
Okay, yeah. And there's no crowns on top of it.
No,
So.
exactly. So it's not noble or royal, it's just religious.
And even like a toilet in the corner there.
I was going to point it out.
They have a small bidet, a toilet, and a sink inside this room.
No curtain.
This is Portugal, everybody. Yeah. Wow. The cabinet for the clothes, most likely. There's a couple of clothes still left in there from the former people that lived here. And a vanity in this room as well. Look at all those religious depictions. They were definitely very religious people. Oh, this is sad to see. Look at this upholstery chair. Completely devoured.
This is unsalvageable.
This used to be such a beautiful chair. They should have taken it out at some point.
It's a picture frame.
Yeah. Oh. A couple more of those chairs over here in the corner. This one is a little bit less deteriorated than the other one. And the sofa next to it is still in very good shape.
I mean, very good shape is an overstatement.
Yes. Oh, wait. You have something else to show in this room. There's a built-in fireplace here. Wow. Yeah, of course, that was the only way how these people could heat them.
Okay, where do you want to go first? Down the hallway or
There.
Yeah, there? Okay.
Yeah, I think this is cool to show. Whoa.
Yeah, whoa, this house is really wobbly.
Okay, come inside of this room. Wow, point up, show that. The ceiling is incredible.
And I love that it has this yellow tint over it.
Yeah. Is this sort of
Beige, yellow.
beige? Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
but we haven't seen yet the bed of this room.
I'm thinking that the countess that used to live here must have slept in this bed.
Most definitely.
This was her bed. And then there would have been a curtain, a white curtain hanging over here, creating sort of a heaven bed shape. Look at this headrest.
Yeah, this bed is crazy. And only when you get up close, you can see the amount of detail carved in this frame.
It is countless.
From a baby to a goose to a fish to a face to just everything. Yeah, there's just so much.
Oh, it's also wobbly.
Yeah, this frame is made by parts, so yeah, let's be a little bit delicate.
Yeah.
But
The bed is still made. And the picture of a woman is lying on top of the bed. Would this have been the countess?
that doesn't have a name.
Completely deteriorated down there. No. Just gonna leave this here like that. That's a beautiful bed. Oh, watch out, sir.
Yeah, I'm bumping into this unfortunately placed desk. It is huge and it's just in the middle of the room.
For some reason, there is a desk inside of this room where they conducted all the work at. Whoa, first thing I see.
The amount of keys.
Yeah, you saw the same thing as me. And here is more keys, keys everywhere, leading to every single door of this palace. And there's, of course, as you can see, heaps and heaps of information on top of this desk we unfortunately cannot show. Oh, there's a bottle that broke down there. One of the wine bottles. It has been standing there for quite some time. Oh, there's still liquor inside of here. Wow. What's that? Where's the hole in there?
That's for a sink.
A sink inside a drawer?
Yeah, for one of those removable ceramic sinks.
Oh yes, Of course, yeah. I think there's a couple of things that we can show on this side of the table. For example, there's a lovely picture of a lady. Is this the same lady as we just saw in the picture over there?
I don't think so, but I'm not sure.
1903, it says at the bottom.
Okay.
Wow, this is 120 years old, everybody. A small little clothes.
Yeah, I love it. And it even spins around. Yeah, we can hear it definitely.
Nice noise. But the desk is an absolute mess, everybody. Wow. And to this side we have something that we can show off. Oh, these rolls. They kept samples of wallpaper.
Isn't that just the wallpaper, not a sample?
This is the wallpaper.
Yeah, it's just scrolls for when they had to replace it. For example, if you want to replace this massive black mold,
Take out some rolls and repair it.
want to do it?
Yeah, let's go.
Right.
No, let's not do that because we have a crazy room to show now. This one, I'm going to tell you, will blow your mind. Follow me. Take it all in, everybody. Just have a look at this magnificent room. This is by far the most beautiful and important room of this entire palace. Again, have a look at the ceiling over here. It's very similar to the bedroom that we just shown.
Yeah, exactly.
I love the beige color.
Oh, and the middle is bending.
Is it cracking down?
Yeah, it's cracking down. It's heavy and it's huge.
I don't want this one to fall down. Oh, sad.
But just imagine, this chandelier is directly attached to it. And I mean, how much does this weigh?
That one must be really heavy.
Yeah.
There's also a wonderful chandelier. I like it, it's different.
Yeah, it's very different.
Yeah. And then here in the middle of the room, we have this sort of coffee table.
Working table?
Working table, yes. With a lot of books on top of it, as you can see. What's this here? Oh, wow.
An album full of vinyls? Yeah.
Haven't we seen this before already?
Yeah, must be. I don't know one from the top of my mind, but yeah.
Come over here. These wonderful chairs I want to show off. Have a look at that. Doesn't that look like a royal setup in front of a fireplace?
And for me, personally, these are just the most beautiful pieces in the house.
Yeah.
It's gorgeous.
It has the family crest embroidered in the seat rest of the seat here. Wow.
They look so royal.
The gold plating around it, everything of this chair is just magnificent. I have to do it. Does this seem royal?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
I mean, with my exploring clothes on or something like that. I don't know. Yeah. I just want to do one time. Oh yeah, that's pretty heavy, yeah.
Yeah, that's very heavy.
A similar one for a man and a woman, one to sit around the fireplace and enjoy a nice glass of Porto wine. Wow, curtains. Lovely curtains. And then it starts, everybody. This whole room has been littered, or all the faces of the people that used to live here have been placed on the wall. I think that's a good way to say it. This looks like a pastor or some sort,
Or bishop, maybe?
yeah.
Oh, and that's
unique
the
expression.
Portuguese military cross of Christ.
That's a different one. You have different kind of orders on these crests, right?
Mhm, yeah.
And you can also see from the cracks in the painting that it's definitely an original one.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I think you can see it on camera.
It's lovely. Oh, this one is also beautiful. It looks like a painter. He even has a painting brush. I'm gonna be very careful. Look at that. He's painting
Whoa.
a painting.
I think this is the best one of all of them.
Yeah, the colors are so vibrant. The expression in his face, he looks a little bit sad even, I would say. Wow. And then underneath it, we have a little bit more vague with this, maybe the countess.
And to me, this feels a bit weird, because usually the person in the painting looks directly at you. But this painting, for some reason, she looks a bit sideways. It's very strange.
She's maybe looking at somebody who's standing next to the painter. She even has, wow, if you look in the metal, you see two people in there.
I love that detail. It's so intricate.
It's a specific type of painting. It's called miniature painting. And it's been done a lot in my country, in Belgium and in the Netherlands. For example, the painter Van Eyck, I really love their painting because they paint so miniature with like very tiny brushes. That's beautiful. And I cannot believe that these paintings have been left behind in this place. Maybe one of the children we're seeing here.
Oh yeah, probably.
It looks a little bit weird, I would say.
Yeah, this looks a bit more simple, I guess, but it is a professional one as well.
1867. Oh, whoa.
That is old.
The hairstylist back then could have been fired. Oh, this is the same one as we saw in the room, 1903.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
This is the big version of the one that we just saw in the bedroom.
And this is the same woman as the other painting with the miniature detail.
But it's also painted, so they literally made a copy of a copy.
No, I mean, it's a different one. She has a different medal over here.
But there's also a miniature painting in here.
I mean, yeah, but it's different.
It looks like two people dancing, I think. I think you can interpret it in different ways. And then we have another one. This is definitely a picture, printed out picture.
Yeah, and retouched maybe.
Wow. Oh, this embroidery, I can enjoy it. You can literally look at it for hours. And it looks like the farm in the background. No, it doesn't. Wild imagination, everybody. Wild imagination. Oh.
And more paintings over here. It's sad that not all of them have dates. Only some of them have.
But these are old. They are centuries old. Whoa, she looks angry.
Yo.
I don't want to encounter her at night.
But she looks very Portuguese.
She's one of those ladies when you explore an abandoned place and she catches you, then she stands in front of you. 1887. Jal, it says on there.
G-A-L. Don't know, but it's the initials.
Yeah, the expression in her face is
It's so lifelike.
so well done. Of course, what's a noble palace without a piano? Pleyel, it says on there. Don't know the brand, don't see it that often. Oh. Even the chair. Whoa. You can see the springs inside the chair.
Yeah, they pop out.
Yeah, they probably broke. That's how old this chair is, everybody. Oh, and look at that man. He's like a very funny face, I would say.
Yeah, a bit funny, but he looks rich.
Wow.
1888, it says?
You see date?
Yeah, 1888.
1888. All the paintings are more than 100 years old that are hanging here on the wall.
Probably around the time where they start putting railways in Portugal. So yeah, that feels ages ago.
These paintings are before there were railroads in Portugal?
Yes.
Just let that sink in for a second. I think this is definitely the biggest painting that we have in the room.
Yeah.
But also one of the most beautiful ones. I really adore it. Wow. It's in the backyard
I
somewhere.
love the detail on the dress.
Wonderfully painted. Woman with a dress.
We don't have time to show all the details of the painting, but it's done beautifully.
It's amazing. And the frame around it as well. Yeah. Beautiful. And then underneath it, we have a fire screen depicting again the crest of the family with the crown above it. So beautiful. Oh my God. What a room.
It's a crazy room.
Okay.
You're gonna go that way?
Yeah, I'm gonna go here.
Okay, see you in a sec.
Another dining room. Have a look at this one. And I think the chandelier in this one is even more extravagant than the other one.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
It has this sort of ball hanging here above it. Do you see that?
Yeah,
Oh, it's even loose. I don't know what its purpose is. It's very heavy.
maybe it has something to do with the oil or...
No, I think it's the weight. Is it?
Yeah, I don't know.
Wow.
I thought it was because of the oil lamp, but... And have you seen the smallest details on here? Here there's like a dragon.
Here as well.
Yeah, a lot of them.
Oh, I love the grapes in here as well. Have you seen that? My God, and they used to, oh, it is an oil lamp still. This is not an electrical lamp. This one is actually still an oil lamp. And the candles are around it. Wow, what a piece. And again, a wonderful ceiling. Here we have a hexagon instead of a rectangle. And again, an extendable dining table.
I love these kind of tables.
Why would you have multiple dining rooms throughout the house?
I mean, because you're royal. Yeah, it's just
That's
that.
the explanation, yeah. Have you seen the paintings behind you? They are insane. They're absolutely insane.
They look even older.
Also completely handmade, as you can see. You can see the cracks in there and everything.
Yeah, you can really see the paint chip.
A little bit simpler painted, I would say, but still absolutely extravagant. Is that the family crest up there?
I think it is, but I'm not sure. Maybe we can compare it with the chairs, but...
Looking at the shapes, this one is painted in January of 1775. This painting here is 280 years old.
I'm not sure, but this might also be a bishop of some sort.
Yeah, and he has a cross on his neck, so, and he has the clothes from a bishop. So, yeah. Lovely grandfather's clock here in the corner of the room. Are there any guns stored in here? Oh, but the weights are still there. That's very uncommon, actually. For some reason, they're always gone when we open these places. So close this up. And then, of course, wonderful furniture all around the room, like we usually see. Grapes and a pear over to that side. Beautiful. Wow. Even a fireplace in this room as well. Is this a wooden fireplace?
Is it?
Yeah, it is. That's a metal plate.
It's weird.
That's a very weird. And another. Well, this is an interesting piece of furniture because it has this sort of reservoir on top of here.
It's really nicely integrated.
How would you open this up? There's not even a lid that you can open up. 20 Hollandaises.
No.
They're still a very good... No.
No, I don't think they are.
I think if you smoked them, you would die.
Yeah, that's not gonna be a pleasant experience, no.
Everything back in the time was uniquely designed, even the cigar box. That's so beautiful to see. I really want to live back in those times. And then, here in the corner of the room, there's one more of these paintings. I at first thought it was the same person, but it looks a little bit as a different one. And it also has a different crest.
Oh yeah.
See if you can find a date on this one.
No.
There's no date on it. Interesting. Wow. What a lovely dining room we have here. Yeah. Quite adore it. Yeah. Okay. Look at this. This then looks more like a living room next to the dining room.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah. So you're done eating, you come in here, drink a cup of wine, and then, yeah, rest for the day. Wow. This room is in a very bad shape, I would say.
It's sad that it feels like there's just so much stuff missing in here.
Yeah, there used to be way more furniture. And this is like the only chair still standing in front of the fireplace. Wow. There's a couple of cushions on top of there. Very simple fireplace, I would say. This is actually a simple one.
True.
For only the fact that it has this lion inside of it.
Kind of a hook.
Yeah, maybe you could hang like a tool on there. It would heat up.
Yeah, it's not a perfect place for it, but hey.
A couple of chairs around the room. Whoa. There's a balcony, as you can.
And completely overgrown.
Wow, ivy everywhere. Yeah, so they don't know why the carpet is here then, but if it's just a balcony that you can stand at. Then the rest of the room, just a couple of pieces.
Can I start showing it from this side? First of all, I think this table, this corner table, is absolutely amazing.
Wow, like there's like roses on there and carvings and everything. And then we got these drawings, are they?
Yeah, prints, illustrations.
They're beautiful though.
Yeah, there's so much going on.
Here's another one. Woman doing something. Then we have an illustration of a bridge. I love this bench as well, sort of a resting bench, I would say, for the living room. And then we got a religious painting over here on the floor. Wow, such a massive one. Yeah. Why is every single painting in this place original, hand painted and left here? Like,
Again, because they were royal and rich, but it's so sad
yeah,
to see art pieces just go to waste here.
that's just stupid in my opinion even. Wow, this is a depiction of a castle even.
And the Portuguese castle at that.
Is it the Guimarães castle?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, now you say it, yes. I've been there and I don't even know. That's how much we travel around the world. I mean, we have a good life. Okay. Anything else to show in this room before we go further?
Nah, this is pretty simple furniture.
Yeah, exactly. I have a couple of nice bedrooms still to show you. Let's go there. We're now walking towards the end of the palace. This is the outer point of it. Again, a different shape of ceiling. Really love it. Different colors. Wow. Where do you want to start in this room?
Let's go clockwise. Let's start here.
Yeah, maybe also this door. This is the entrance.
Yeah?
Yeah. This is where the people came in. I think this was one of the main doors of this place.
Definitely, definitely.
And then you have a cabinet that is almost no cabinet anymore. It's falling apart. Oh my, oh, I bumped my head into it.
Yeah, I told you, it's really low. The Portuguese back in the day must have been so small.
Yeah. Look at that. There's a family tree behind here of the complete family with all the crests and everything. That's amazing. We have to blur, of course, most of it.
I mean, probably all of it, because you can definitely find out a lot of this place through this. I'm just gonna say that above this crest that we cannot show, there's a knight armor. And a knight armor means that it's military, and the crown means that it's royal. But this one we can show. Let me just list. Yeah. The biggest one. And as you can see, it has a crown, and this is the family crest.
Yeah, you can even see there's like sort of a
Yeah,
line
a black
or
line
something.
of some sorts, but it's hard to say what it means. Heraldry is very complicated.
Wow, and even says at the top, it says Pintos. So yeah, this was their family crest.
Pinto?
Pinto. Look at this piece of furniture here. I absolutely adore it. It's like this small little drawers, sort of an accountancy thing, I think. They all look like they're individual, but here's 4, here's 2. These open like this. Some are individual. It's quite a unique piece of furniture, and I've not seen it very often, but I adore it whenever I see it. Yeah.
It's very beautiful.
Oh. No.
This is one of the most beautiful cabinets I've seen in a while, but yeah, it's completely falling apart.
Destroyed.
But these carvings are so big and so detailed.
It's so sad to see. Why? Why? These lanterns, if I'm not mistaken, they are from coaches?
Phew, I don't know. But they're so big. And these were converted because now there is a lamp inside.
Probably they didn't know what to do with it, and then they thought like, oh, let's hang it inside.
Yeah, most likely. But these are way bigger than the normal ones.
I think also back in the time that was be a gas lantern or something in here.
Yeah, I mean, first it was with candles, then with oil, and then electric, so yeah.
Again, one of those typical Portuguese benches. Very unique style in this one as well. I love it. And then another family crest above there.
Family tree, right?
Family tree. Complete family tree.
This one has so many names, you probably cannot even see it on camera.
No. This is the family name down here.
I'm gonna show one.
Yeah. Wow. It's incredible. Another one of the coach lights. Wow. I think if you turn around,
the piece in the corner.
One of the most unique grandfather's clocks
I
I've
love
seen.
it so much.
Look at the colors, it almost looks unreal. Yeah.
Yeah, as if it's from a fantasy, right?
Yes, that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to
It's
say.
mythical almost.
It even has a small face inside of there, like a moon or something. I don't know. It's such a special piece. The weights are still hanging in there. It's complete. This looks like an art piece somebody made.
Yeah, it definitely is an art piece. You'll never see a clock like this again.
Monsieur, après vous. Whoa. Oh, another heaven bed. There you go.
Another beautiful, gorgeous heaven bed.
Look at the red curtains hanging there. Isn't that just special?
It must have been crazy to sleep in something like this.
Yeah, I would love to have this as my bed.
Yeah.
Look at the carvings here at the back. Is this all individual pieces cut and then put on there?
Yes,
No way.
for sure.
That would have taken ages to construct.
Unless it's someone who's a master at their craft.
I want you to come first to this side because there's something that we have just skipped here. This is a quadruple bench. Four seat rests. That's very uncommon, I would say.
Yeah, normally there's 3 of them.
And also in a bedroom. Yeah, I feel like these cushions should be like that. 4, 3, 4. Wow, that's unique. One thing I'm gonna do is just test it out. Oh, it feels pretty weird if there were 4 people sitting here, like
Squeezed together.
you have no space, I think.
No. Pretty plain fireplace. And a pretty plain, yes, of course, wheels.
Wheels underneath it. And is there something in that corner that we have to show?
Yeah, I mean, this chair is the same as the other one, but it has a different feature.
Of course, it has a laptop holder.
Yeah, exactly, a laptop holder.
When you're doing the Photoshop.
I could edit the Bros of Decay videos over here.
No, it's most likely to read a book. Yeah.
Yeah, or to eat, or I don't know, makeup, just anything actually.
Exactly, yeah. And then over here.
Oh, here, this one has one of the ceramic sinks.
This is what you were talking about.
Yeah,
That's the
exactly.
piece. And it even has a bucket underneath it to collect the water from the sink. You can take out the bucket when it's full and then bring it to empty it. A primitive sink. Wow. Like this room. Like it.
Me too.
Yeah. It's definitely also one of the more important rooms inside of the house.
Of course.
Sure.
A bedroom is where people lived, so.
Yeah. But I think the more important people of the house would sleep in that room and the other room would have a bed. This is, I would say, more of a room for a child or something.
But fancy.
Smaller bed. It's still similar sized, but yeah. Still a very lovely room though. Love the bed. This always looks so fragile. I already said it in this video, but yeah, you see they even move and everything. You have to be very careful with it. Where's the chimney of this one?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. This fireplace looks very out of place.
Out of place, yeah. Don't know.
And another thing we absolutely have to point out is the ceiling here.
And also the state of the ceiling.
Yeah, as you can see, it's decaying very bad. But the detail on this ceiling, it's very dark wood, so you cannot see the detail properly. But if you get up close and put a light on it, it's just mesmerizing.
You see the birds. You see everything
Oh
outside.
yeah, there's birds and there's snakes.
Oh.
Wow, what? I didn't see the bird yet.
Just show the ceiling itself as well. Every single time we keep finding these places.
Yeah.
How do we do this?
And every house always has something particular to it.
Every single place has its unique feature. It's amazing. I call this the palace of pictures or the palace of portraits. I love it. There's one more room over to that side.
Let's go.
I think it's 2 doors going into the same place.
I think so.
Yeah, it looks like it, yeah. Wow, that's a particular ceiling.
Oh, why?
Why? It's a sort of circle, I would say.
And I really love this bed.
Yeah.
It looks so simple, but this bed is one of the best. To me, it's around the same class as the heaven bed we saw first.
Look at it. Well, watch out. I feel everything cracking under my feet.
Yeah?
I wouldn't take
Okay.
too many steps.
I'm just gonna quickly...
Yeah, this
Yep.
has very unique shapes
Yeah, and the upholstery on it as well.
here.
Everything about it.
I'm gonna slowly.
Yeah, please, because that side is... Oh no, please get out of there.
Oh,
It's, yeah.
I have to be so careful.
Yeah, you can already see it from the ceiling.
Oh my God.
The water comes down there, I mean.
And then we have a built-in cabinet. Oh, there's a toilet in between the two rooms here. That's
Wow.
so cool.
That feature is
so
amazing.
Cool. Love the features of this house. Wow.
Is there something else interesting in this room?
No, I don't think so.
No.
Mind blown.
Yeah, but let's move on.
Okay. What an absolutely fantastic place that we just explored. A 400-year-old Portuguese palace. What did you think about this place?
I really love this palace, and we just keep finding them everywhere in Portugal, like they are everywhere.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I love to discover these places and document them and bring them to the internet forever, and that's what we just did. And if you liked that, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and write a nice comment what you thought about this place down there. And you can also support us on our website. There are links and everything, how you can see how to support us. And with that all said, I love you very much and see you next week in another amazing episode. Bye bye.